BMW Motorcycle Owners of America present the Short Wheelbase Podcast. With members in all 50 states, Canada, and across the globe, the BMW MOA invites you to ride inspired. Learn more about membership benefits, including roadside assistance, tire hazard protection, and more at bmwmoa.org. The Short Wheelbase Podcast is also brought to you by Boxer 2 Valve, supplier of quality OEM and aftermarket parts and specialty tools, and by Air Support BMW, offering premium driveline rebuilding and performance enhancements for your air-cooled BMW.
Welcome, everyone, to the Short Wheelbase Podcast. It is episode 29. We're almost to 30. We're coming into October. I have a guest again after kind of flying solo there for a few episodes. Ben Maloy is back from Dundee Vintage Cycles. Glad to have you back, sir.
Thanks for having me back, man.
Yeah. Folks, if this is a fresh face to you, go back to episode 17 where we first talked with Ben. Get to know Ben a little bit more, understand what he's up to. Because today we're going to talk about a flying ride that you just did. You came out here to Denver and bought a new bike and then rode it home. So before we, there it is right there in the background, RS. Before we jump into that, I just want to say something. There's a cricket somewhere in my garage. And I spent about 20 minutes trying to find it before we started recording. It's not making any noise right now, but if folks, if you hear a cricket in the background, it's not you, it's me. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about it at this point. It's just part of the show. It's our third guest, if you will.
You can edit that out in post, right? Just all the chirps that would.
Yeah, I'll just sit there and I don't know. There's got to be like an anti-cricket AI by now, right?
There we go. Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about your adventure coming out here. This was actually like exactly a week ago you were here.
It was. Yeah. This is fresh.
Flew in. And what did you fly out here for? I'm going to pretend like I don't know anything and just ask questions like I'm clueless. So what did you fly out here for?
Totally. Well, when I was on last time, I had just sold that red 81 RS that I had finished putting together. And that bike's gone now, but I've been missing the RS. I didn't get enough time with it. I didn't get enough time to like truly experience the RS. So I've been looking. I have all my alerts on Marketplace, for local RS deals. And I was kind of going back and forth on like what color do I want? Like Chuck Pryor's gold one, like totally sold me on like a gold RS. Gorgeous. So that would be ideal, but also like the blue ones have always, it's classic. You can't beat it. So finally one pops up. One day I'm at work, one pops up last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it's been. And I reach out again, I had the alerts on. I'm pretty sure I messaged the owner of this bike 2 minutes after posting it. Like he had just hit enter and I'm already blowing him up. And I think I caught him off guard with like how fast I wanted to move because his price was pretty fair and it's a beautiful bike. It looked great in the listing. And then I noticed it was in Denver. So I'm waiting on this guy to get back to me. I message you. I'm like, hey,
right.
You know this jabroni with the RS? and I could show you like your response just said, buy it. That's all you said. You didn't say, I know this guy. I don't know. You just said, buy it. Now I'm like, oh well, okay. And so you gave me Chris, the owner's Chris, someone and you gave me his phone number, and I just cut out Marketplace, went straight to him, and was like, hey man, I'm gonna Venmo you a deposit right now. Nick gave you his blessing. That's all I need. So let's go. Let's do this. Yep. And I think he was a little caught off guard by the whole like aggressiveness, but I was ready to go, and the timing just worked out. So that's how this one fell into my lap.
That's how it all started. And to fill in a little bit more extra detail here for folks listening, I was literally, when Ben messaged me, I was literally on my way out to this very seat to record a podcast episode, and in that episode, my plan was to actually help sell this bike. I was, Chris had just told me that it was listed. So I had pulled photos down. I was going to, shine light on this bike for my buddy here and get this bike sold for him. And, Ben messages me. I'm like, yes, buy it. I come out here. I actually record the whole episode as though Ben isn't in the process of sending him a deposit, because I didn't know that was happening.
Right.
And, I get done with the episode. I come inside, I go about my day, and it just suddenly hits me. I'm like, I got to go re-record the episode because I can't release that knowing that Ben pretty much has already purchased the bike. So I forget. I think that was 2 or 3 episodes ago. But regardless, I re-recorded it and immediately got on the phone with these guys and said, "Hey, we gotta ride these. Let's ride this bike while it's still out here. Let's do a flying ride and kind of." Strong. I don't know. I don't think I really strong armed you into it. You were pretty ready to go.
Yeah. No, if the schedule would have worked, I would have just come out that day if I could have. But no, the suggestion of the flying ride was the way to go. And so, just for context, I'm in Omaha, which is about 600 something miles from Denver. So not that far, but not that close either. Kind of the perfect distance for a quick flying ride. So. I was willing to do that. We had a little opening in the schedule, and it just kind of felt like it's kind of meant to be for us to get an opportunity to meet in person.
Yeah.
And as I got to know Chris, just the excitement to get to know Chris, we could talk a little bit about him too, but it just felt like the right time to come out, and the weather was looking great.
Yeah. The weather turned out phenomenal. It couldn't have been better.
Yeah. So it was just time, but I have to admit, I talked about this when I was on last time. I'm still fairly new to the world of motorcycling compared to a lot of these, old boys in this hobby. And so I've never done anything like that. I've never done a fly-in ride. I've never done, I'm a dad with little kids. I don't go on trips by myself. I go on family vacations, and so just like my wife, shout out to my wife, she's so understanding and so supportive of all of this. And she was like, yeah, just go. I got it. You go have fun, go on this adventure. And it was an adventure for sure.
Yes. So let's get into that adventure. You flew in, it was last Wednesday, I believe. Landed sometime around noonish, give or take. Yep. And I didn't see your arrival at Chris's place, but I'm assuming you Ubered or something like that, and got your way out to Chris lives out near Golden. So not quite at the airport, little drive from there. Right. And yeah, you tell me about getting to see the bike for the first time. What was it like?
Well, what I learned from Chris, and anyone knows Chris would know this, he loves this bike. He does. Loves this bike, and that's advice I've heard. Buying cars, buying vintage bikes, whatever, is you're not really buying the bike, you're also buying the seller, and because that tells you so much about how these things are cared for. And Chris immediately, even in all the text leading up to it, he is so meticulous in the way that he has cared for this bike, the way they've prepped this bike. And maintained it. I felt like I was excited, but I was also a little nervous because it also felt like I was taking his baby away from him. And I felt like I had to prove that I was worthy of, taking this on from him. But I totally took the opportunity to mess with him too. Right away, I was like, these RSs, they're great, but they look really good if you pull the fairing off, and just powder coat everything black. And he just had the most dead stare. And I'm like, Chris, I'm joking, man. I'm joking. Not my 10. And I think we hit it off from there. But I show up at his place, and he was taking it for one last ride. He was a half hour late. I just sat in his front yard in some neighborhood I don't know, waiting for him to show up. The bike, but
he didn't. I think he sent us a picture during this. He got stuck at a train crossing. Doing one last ride on the bike.
Right. So I had a lot of time to contemplate my surroundings.
Yeah.
But immediately, Chris shows up and we hit it off, and he was just so welcoming, bringing me into his place, made me an excellent peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And they got into his immediate mode was to be tour guide. And he knew that I really have very little. I had zero experience riding the canyons in Colorado. I've been out there for vacations and stuff, but never on a bike. So he like pulled out this like atlas of like motorcycle roads in Colorado, and we just started going through it. And he's like, "This is what we're gonna do," and which I really appreciate about him, just his willingness to be such a good tour guide and host.
Yeah, he's such a good dude. So yeah, I show up a little after this. Had to get some things done around the house and with my other job, and rode over on the conversion. And at this point, you'd already exchanged money and title and all that fun stuff. And yeah, we kind of just saddled up at that point and pointed the bikes west. And I believe we went up Golden Gate Canyon to start with. And like you mentioned, you don't have any experience riding out here. Apologies, I can hear the cricket. I hope you can't.
No, she's chirping back there.
The cricket is making presence known. I can't make this stuff up.
Nope.
A couple episodes ago, there was a bird outside chirping at me. I had to re-record it. We're just rolling with this one. The cricket's part of it.
That's right.
Anyway, so we head out, we grab coffee, and we head for Golden Gate Canyon. And like I said, this is kind of your first time getting a taste for canyon riding here in Colorado. And I'll let you explain it, but I'll add some color along the way.
Yeah, I mean, again, where I live in Omaha, I have access to some nice roads in what we call the Loess Hills area of Iowa. But they're pretty like gentle curves. You can have some fun, but I did not fully appreciate or understand just how incredible the roads are in Colorado and how quickly you can get to them. I mean, just literally minutes away from Chris's house, or I'm sure for where you live, or just where we were grabbing coffee. We were already in what to me felt like the mountain course of the Isle of Man TT. I mean, corners like I had never experienced. And so Nick and I were connected. We connected our Cardos, and so we were talking. And I'm sure you eventually just got like so annoyed. Like every corner was just like, I'm just like, wow, whoa, wow. Yeah. Every corner was the best corner I had ever taken on a motorcycle. And I could tell you were feeling it too. You were feeling it too. At the very first corner of the canyon, the first thing Nick does is just like start grinding parts on the side of his conversion, because he was taking it so aggressively. I love that. You ride that thing fast, man.
I do enjoy the canyons quite a bit, regardless of what bike I'm riding. But yeah, it was super fun. I take it for granted, right? Like all of my riding experience has been in Colorado. And so the canyons are just kind of where I learned to ride. And, I forget what it's like for somebody who hasn't ridden in there. And it was absolutely amazing to just hear you like shouting with joy on every turn, and and just being amazed by the mountain views and the overlooks and things like that. It was super fun, and it kind of, I don't know, it helped me reappreciate something that I've kind of grown just used to at this point. So so I didn't get sick of you hooting and hollering, because it was quite fun.
Well, I appreciate that. I the very first corner felt like a roller coaster. That same feeling, and just the smile. It was such a smile on my face going through it. It was incredible, man.
Very cool. So we went up Golden Gate. There's a highway that kind of runs parallel to the Front Range, called the Peak to Peak Highway. Right. We took a little break up there to kind of just take in some views and kind of figure out where our route was going to be from there. And then we realized that Chris didn't fill your gas tank.
Right.
Which we're not throwing shade, Chris. That was You're fine, man. Like, it's just, it happens. You had to get that one last ride in, so it
That's
wasn't
right.
a full tank. It's all good. And so we decided, all right, we got to go run down here to Blackhawk and get some gas. So we head down that way, and we fill up our tanks, figure out what time it is. We wanted to try to get to Yuramoto Electric and kind of hang out with some of the folks there, let Ben meet everybody. So we were on a little bit of a time frame, and decided to take Clear Creek Canyon to come home. But before that, I picked up a little souvenir for Ben, for his flatland lungs.
Right.
Something
that he was concerned about me. This is a Boost Oxygen Revive bottle. So what? Oxygen in a can?
It's oxygen in a can.
I probably should have used it at the time. I haven't used it yet, but I did take the wrapper off. So let's give it a try.
We're gonna do this.
Here. It feels really light.
We're doing it live, folks.
No, is anyone ever? Okay, here we go. Oh. Do you hit it like a bong? I don't know. Like what am I doing with this thing?
I don't know. I've never used one. These folks, I don't know, they sell these in gas stations in Colorado because of the altitude, and I'm sure it's nonsense, right? It's a scam to try to get tourists money out of their pockets, and they've been around for at least a decade or more, and I've just always thought they were hilarious. And oh man, you were just making pure Instagram content for me. These are going to be reels on my Instagram page of you taking hits of the oxygen tank.
It feels kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, straight oxygen to the dome, I guess.
Feel so clear-headed now.
Yeah, so there you go. That was the souvenir that Ben brought all the way home from Colorado. Fresh mountain air. I don't even know where they bottle it. It's some kind of air. Yeah. I'm sure it's just from a tank somewhere. So yeah, we head back down, hop on the highway, go over to Yuramoto Electric. You got to meet the folks over there, spent some time over there, which oddly enough turned into an MG, a British car repair evening. One of my buddies who also loves Airheads and has a love of old MGs brought a new one, and his clutch went out on his way there. And so what was supposed to be just hanging out, talking about Airheads, turned into a bunch of us trying to fix a British car, which we were marginally successful at. I'm not going to say we beat that one, but
I don't think you did. The next day you sent me a picture of that MG midget and the engine was out. So
yeah. I mean, we diagnosed it. How about that?
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a turn of events that we weren't expecting. But fun nonetheless. Working on old things is fun no matter what it is, in my opinion. Totally. So the next, you grabbed a hotel room that night, and then I had to work the next day, so I couldn't rejoin the fun. But talk me through what you guys did next day. You met up with Chris again, so.
Yeah, second day, and that was a late night, by the way, at Yuramoto Electric. I had already flown in from Omaha. I had ridden the canyons with you guys, and then we were out there. I don't know.
We don't need to put time on it.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was late.
It was late.
And so I found a hotel to crash for the night. The old lady working the desk there was so nice. It was pretty late. She saw I was on a bike, and she made sure to know, like, I can park it under the awning at the hotel, nice. And she went on to show me all these pictures of her husband's bike. He had just passed away. And so she wanted to show me all these pictures of her late husband's Indian chief with a sidecar, like classic Indian. Showed me all these pictures. And so, it was really neat. Hearing her talk about that, but I think I was just like so amped up from the day, even though I was exhausted. I did not sleep at all. Got back with Chris, early in the morning, and the plan was to maybe go ride. My plan at first was just to get back home. It's a long ride, but it's like, no, I got to see more of this while I can. So he planned a route for us that morning, riding through the foothills a little more. We went up through Boulder, went up to some reservoirs that had, again, like beautiful scenery, beautiful roads. Chris was on his really beautiful 90/6. I'm sure you've got a photo of that. You can put up,
we'll
we
pop one up. I featured that bike previously. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Such a beautiful bike. And so it was just a couple of airheads. We stopped, got some great photos, had lunch, and then it was time for me to peel off start making my way back to Omaha. So took off through, it's hard to leave those roads behind, but even Eastern Colorado has some beauty to it. I stuck to the highways, went through like Sterling and Fort Morgan area, where the benefit to those roads is once you get out there, there's nobody. You are on your own, and that's where the RS can really start to shine, because these things are geared for speed, and you can easily settle in 100 miles an hour, and they'll just cruise all day at that speed. So even though it wasn't the curvy mountain roads, that also had its own appeal.
Yeah.
And to be clear, the 100-mile-per-hour time was it when I was in Mexico. I had a quick detour to Mexico.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You weren't doing anything illegal in Colorado.
Never.
Nope.
Never.
Nope. Very cool. So where was your target? Did you have a target that day, or were you just kind of riding until you couldn't ride?
Usually I'm a fairly like meticulous vacation planner. That's usually my style. But with this trip, I decided let's just go with it. And so
nice.
I just rode until it was about 4 or 5 o'clock. I knew I didn't really out in the country want to ride too late into the dark. There was no need for me to push it that hard. So just kind of figured out like, okay, a couple hours before sundown, what city do I think I can make it to, and just start calling hotels and see what I can find. And found a great overnight stop in Ogallala, Nebraska, which is just, I think I just needed to feel like I made some progress and get over the border. So that was kind of the first city over the border.
Which is it feels long to get there. I've done the drive. I have never ridden that way, but I've driven that way and cross country many times. And like, there's something about the drive from like Denver to whether it's Nebraska or Kansas, regardless of, whichever way you go, it feels like the hardest part of the drive is just getting out of Colorado.
It is. Yeah. It struck me. I thought I was going to make more progress. But it was time to call it a night, and I did have, super strict curfew to get back. So I was okay to kind of take it at my own pace.
Nice. So then it was just a straight shot home the next day. Any stops along the way?
Yeah, day 3 was really fun. Yes, it's easy to kind of like make fun of Nebraska and all the cornfields, and you wouldn't be wrong. But Western Nebraska is beautiful. It's the Sandhills region of Nebraska. So I did take a detour up through Broken Bow, which is kind of far out of the way, but the payoff is worth it. Again, like more beautiful rolling hills, fun small towns to stop in and enjoy. And funny enough, my parents, who they live in Lincoln, so they're on far east side of Nebraska too, but they happen to be out in central Nebraska doing some antiquing or like random trip they had made. And so I just messaged them. I was like, hey, are you guys out this way? And they were. So I met them in my mom's hometown of Loop City, Nebraska, which is like smack dab in the center of the state, and met my parents for lunch just randomly. So it was nice to have a quick visit there. And being my parents, they're so great. They just want to like go do a bunch of stuff and take me places. I'm like, I got to go, guys. I got roads to ride. So made it back to Lincoln on day 3. Then to Omaha. Sorry, I made it back to Omaha by 5 p.m. On Friday. So total whirlwind of a trip.
Gotcha. Very cool. Sorry, I was just throwing things at the cricket.
Yeah, I was saying, was that a sound effect you added, or you got a soundboard over there?
I'm trying to get rid of this cricket, guys. I'm sorry. Just podcasting.
Doing it live.
One take podcasting. It's the best. So cool. Got to hang out with your folks. That's awesome. And I know how that goes when you meet up with family members and it's just like you want to get moving and they just kind of want to keep taking more and more of your time. Just like this cricket wants to take more and more of my sanity.
It might. I'm a little worried about you, bro.
Awesome. So you've done this now. You've gotten the flying ride out of the way. Not out of the way. I hope you do more of these because it sounds like a blast.
We will.
What are your impressions now? We kind of started out this conversation and you had said that you didn't really have enough time with your previous RS. Now you've got a bunch of miles on an RS.
Yeah.
What's your take on these bikes? How do you feel about them?
The experience I had with my previous one was only a few hundred miles but it left such a strong impression. Hence why I had to get another one. And now that I got to spend some, fairly serious miles, at least for me, on one, I think it's safe to say it's just one of the best motorcycles ever made. And I truly believe that it is the right mix of sporty with like these still have the stock. This is the stock handlebars. I know it's popular to swap these out for K75 bars. These are the stock bars, all stock riding position. That low windshield, looks so cool, a little loud. I'm 6'2", so, a little loud for me. I stuck that little spoiler windscreen on there, which completely fell on its face at 100 plus miles an hour. Those little hinges on that little
in Mexico.
In Mexico, it fell flat. It didn't really do much for me, but to also be able to ride a bike like that in the canyons for my first canyon experience, I can't really think of a better bike. It might be the best Airhead. And I had posed this question online and in talking to some folks, the realization when you're asking that question is like, well, yeah, the bars are a little low. My back kind of hurts and the windscreen looks cool, but it's low and I'm deaf now. I can't really hear. So if they were just a little higher, they're both a little higher, that would be the best bike. And so what you and I have determined, is that actually the best motorcycle must be the RT.
It's the RT, folks. Slightly higher bars, significantly higher bars, and more windscreen, more to hide behind.
Yeah. I think that's the realization.
That's the realization, folks, is that the RT is the ultimate. I almost said penultimate, but it's the ultimate Airhead. I don't know.
I think it is.
I think it needs more testing. I think we need more data, and we need to log miles, I think, to get that data. So there's something in the works here that Ben and I can't reveal quite yet, but it will be RT oriented.
There's a saying that rings that came up during this trip that has just been ringing in my head, and it's RT AF. RT as fuck.
Well,
we'll leave you
folks,
with that.
We'll I think we'll probably have to end it here because if I don't leave soon, I'm gonna freak out on this cricket. Well, Ben, this has been great. I'm stoked that you got to come out here and we got to meet in person.
Absolutely.
And got to ride together. I'm just honored that you're back here on the show and able to share this with everybody. I hope folks enjoy this as much as we did. And hopefully there's more adventures in the future with less crickets. Yeah,
truly. And no, thanks for having me back. And let's just take a moment and just like pause. We talked about this last time a little bit too, is the importance of the work that you're doing, Nick. And this whole experience, all of these people that I met, we didn't even talk about all the people we met at Euromoto and how meaningful all that was to me. Shout out to everybody that was there that night. Like all of this would not have happened had you not started this podcast and the Instagram account and connected all of us together. That's the power. Social media can be so maligned, but it can also be really powerful. And this is a great example of that. And so kudos to you for continuing to invest this time in building this. And let's keep working together on some things.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't agree more. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Sometimes a lot of this stuff gets to be pretty hard work to do sometimes. So
it is.
I'm glad it's bearing fruit, I guess, is the best way to put it.
No doubt.
Well, folks, we're going to wrap here. I do have some footage that I took of our riding and some of the intros and things like that we did along the way during this trip. So we're going to roll that here after we wrap. So stay tuned for that. As always, you can find me on Instagram at Airhead Misfits. Ben, you are Know Thy Beast, correct?
That's right.
I got that correct. Yep. So give him a follow to see what he's up to, and hopefully there'll be more shenanigans with Ben to come. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
All right, here we are. We've got Ben in Colorado.
We're here, man.
Flew out this morning.
I did. Super excited to be here. Can't believe we're all together. It's like
We've got my buddy Chris here, who's pulling out a bike that I'm sure you've all seen on the podcast and on the Airhead Misfits page. And as mentioned, Chris's ex-bike, now Ben's bike. What year is it again?
It'll never not be Chris's bike.
Aw.
So I'm just going to temporarily take care of it.
Aw, you're
for a little bit.
gonna make me tear up. It's a 78 because it's got the snowflakes. 77 had the spokes. It is stamped 77, but late 77.
Got it.
So it's one of those early builds, and it's titled as a 78, just so the snowflakes get sort of recognized.
Got it. Okay.
Gotcha.
If that makes any sense.
Right.
So we're gearing up here. We've got the conversion ready to go. Chris has got the 90 ready to go. With the Siebenrock kit. Can't forget that detail.
Right.
We'll do a quick little walk around here. We're getting ready to take this bad boy up a couple of canyons and show Ben what it's like to ride uphill and then downhill.
I'm from Omaha. We don't have these things called corners or mountains. So yeah.
So
it'll be an experience.
Yeah, so we're gonna go have some fun. I'll be chasing them on the conversion. I've got the 360 cam ready to go. We'll get some footage of that. So stay tuned.
Because you get to experience this every day of your life. You basically have the Isle of Man TT mountain course in your backyard.
This is not a good representation of what we just rode, but he's kind of right.
I hate you all.
How's your lungs up this high?
Yeah, my ears are popping. That's weird. Yeah, if you guys could give me like an O2 bottle or a Sherpa or something, it'd probably help me.
Like this?
Yeah. Oh. For real? That's a thing? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yep. They sell oxygen in gas stations in
Probably
Colorado.
gonna need that. Probably gonna need that. Is it flavored? Is it like a vape?
I have no idea. I've never bought one.
Never used one.
I was going to the bathroom and I saw it and I thought, Ben might need that.
I might need that. Awesome, guys.
All right,
I appreciate it. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Truly.
We're going to get back on the bikes and ride some more.
Sure.
Joining us on the Short Wheelbase Podcast, presented by the BMW Motorcycle Owners of America. To join the club, visit bmwmoa.org. You can find full-length episodes of the excerpts heard here on the Airhead 247 podcast. The Short Wheelbase Podcast is produced and edited by Nick Maloy. Audio segments by Jeff Glover. You can check in with Nick at Airhead Misfits on Instagram.